Hello, welcome back to Invest with Intention YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am on a mission to turn 13,000 into 50,000 by investing into ETFs, index funds, and high conviction stocks. And today, I got a really good one for you. Today, we are comparing two of the best technology growth ETFs in the market, the Fidelity MSCI Information Technology Index Funds versus the Technology Select Sector SPDR Fund, XLK, okay? And the big question is, which ETF is the best growth ETF to hold for the next 10 years and beyond? And trust me, the answer might surprise you. So let's go back to my portfolio. We are going to compare the year-to-date returns, 1, 3, 5, and 10-year performance, the expense ratios, and dividend yield. I'll be using Portfolios Lab to compare the numbers side by side. So make sure you stick around because the winner will be revealed at the end of this video. By the way, to be fully transparent, I only own FTEC, okay? But before we jump in, do me a quick favor. If you enjoy ETF investing content like this, subscribe to the channel and help this community grow. It means a lot to me and it costs absolutely nothing to subscribe. And as always, this is not a financial advice, just my personal investing journey and opinion. All right, let's dive into the video, okay? So we are going to define FTEC. So it's the Fidelity MSCI Information Technology Index ETF. It's a technology ETF from Fidelity that tracks the MSCI USA Information Technology Index, giving investors exposure to some of the biggest tech companies in the world like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. Okay. Meanwhile, XLK, okay, is the Technology Select Sector SPDR Fund. It tracks the technology sector select sector index, which focuses on large cap US technology companies within the S&P 500. So essentially, both ETFs give investors exposure to the biggest tech companies during innovation companies that is driving innovation. Okay, so let's look at my position with FTEC. Okay, so I started my position. Let's go over here so you can see. I started my position with FTEC on January 27, 2025. Okay, so a little over a year ago, buying less than a share. Okay, as you can see here, I bought only 0.2 share. Okay, since then I have just been dollar cost averaging into my position whenever I can, and as you can see here, right, on February 21, 2025, I bought 0.099 share, right. Over here on April 16, 2025, I bought about 0.3 share. Okay, and fast forward, I now have 20 shares, as you can see up here, and my average cost basis is $212, okay, 60 cents, and the current price, share price, is $214.29, okay, meaning that my position is currently up about 0.79% over the last year. Okay, but that doesn't tell the full story, because about 3 months ago I was actually up nearly 12%. Okay, but because I continued to dollar cost average and almost double my position, and because the market has been very volatile this year, my overall return has come down. Okay, but honestly, I am not worried at all, because I know this is a high quality ETF. Okay, right now FTEC makes up about 16.70% of my entire portfolio, making it the third largest position I own. Okay, now when it comes to XL, so let's go over here. XLK, I personally do not own it. Okay, not because it's bad, but it's but simple because both ETFs have performed very similarly over the last decade. So I decided to stick with FTEC. Okay, um, so one interesting difference though is the share price. So as you can see, XLK is trading at around $137.29. Okay, and Fidelity is trading around, as you saw before, around $214 per share. Okay, so basically speaking, or psychologically speaking, XLK might feel cheaper to buy a full share compared to FTEC. Okay, so we are going to do their performance returns, okay, over the years. So let's head over to Portfolios Lab. Okay, so let's look at the year to date. So FTEC is up here and XLK is down here. Okay, and also just so you know, depending on what website you use, the returns might be slightly different. Okay, so year to date, FTEC has is down negative 4.62%, and XLK is down negative 4.64%. Okay, so basically identical performance so far this year. Okay, both ETFs are down. Okay, 1 year return, we will see that FTEC return 25.89%. Okay, and XLK 26.43%. Okay, sorry, 43%. Okay, very close, but SLK wins slightly. Okay, the 3 year return, we will see that FTEC has returned 27.31% compared to SLK 26.36%. Here FTEC takes the lead. Okay, over the last 5 years, on average, FTEC has returned 16.60%, XLK 17.23%. Another close race, but XLK wins here. Okay, in the last 10 years, though, watch this, FTEC has returned 22.37% compared to XLK 22.05%. Okay, over an entire decade, FTEC slightly wins. Okay, but as you can see, the return are basically the same. So what does all this tell us? Both ETFs have performed almost identical over the last 10 years. There really isn't a clear winner based purely on performance. Okay, so let's go here and look at the expense ratio. Okay, we won't see it here, but let's go back to my portfolio. We'll see that FTEC has an extremely low expense ratio of 0.08%, and XLK, the expense ratio comes in at about 0.09%. Okay, so both are very cheap to own, but FTEC wins slightly here. Now let's talk about dividend yields. Okay, both ETFs pay quarterly dividends, but they are not really known for income since they are growth ETFs. So FTEC currently the yield is roughly 0.5%. Okay, and XLK is about, let's see, 0.5%. Okay, basically the same, around the same. So SLK pays slightly more income, but again, this difference is very small. Okay, so the big question, which ETF is better for the next 10 years? Honestly, there is no wrong choice here. Both ETFs are incredible long-term technology investments, but personally, I prefer FTEC. Okay, mainly because I use Fidelity. It has a slightly lower expense ratio. Performance is almost identical. But no matter what brokerage you use, just pick one and stay invested. If you enjoyed this breakdown and learned something new, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share with someone. It really helps this community grow. And if you are interested in semiconductor investing, check out the video right up here to your right, where I compared TSM versus FSELX. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.